and welcome to another broadcast with Gian. Watching this program, you are going to be inspired, challenged, and enlightened. Now, let me introduce to you our host, Gian.
Sometimes you watch movies about the past, in the 1700s, when people in Europe were oppressed for their religious beliefs. Then you see other movies about the 1800s and the oppression here in America. African American people under slavery, and on and on. You watch those movies all the time, you read the history, how oppression has been a constant in the history of humankind. And you know that still today in some countries there is still oppression. Huge, big time. But in America, the oppression today doesn't come precisely for those kind of things. Today, the oppression in America is coming through alcohol and drugs. The thing that is, to me, the weirdest part about this new slavery is that, in fact, there is no one person that is putting the victims subject to that oppression. It's not one person, you know. Actually, it's not coming from the outside of these individuals. Individuals that suffer under the oppression of alcoholism or drug addictions, they don't have any particular oppressor, like a person, like a force, like an empire, like a kingdom, or stuff like that. It's not coming from the outside. Although people say that there is darkness, and we know about the existence of demons and the power of the darkness, and Satan in the world. In fact, the oppression is not coming from the outside. The oppression actually is in the inside of each individual. If you are one of those individuals that struggle with big time addiction to alcohol or drugs, I can understand your pain. I can understand how difficult is that for you. You know, one time when I was a teenager, I started to smoke, and it was very hard for me to stop smoking. They say that nicotine is probably one of the most difficult addictions in life. I don't know. But I know one thing, that I needed to force myself to get out of that addiction. It was very hard for me to stop and quit smoking. One thing that I thought that I needed to do in order to quit smoking was be conscientious about the consequences in my body about smoking. I decided to find pictures of people who had different kind of diseases, and particularly those who had cancer in their throat or in their mouth or in destroyed teeth or in their lungs, stuff like that. You know what I did? I got those pictures and I put it in front of me near my computer. And every day while I am working and I'm looking at those pictures, it was a reminder to me, quit smoking. You know, to me it was difficult. It was very difficult to quit smoking, but slowly I could do it. You know, the other thing that I did was, with the pictures, I decided to keep track of how many cigarettes I was smoking per day. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to smoke this amount, but less and less and less and less. And I thought, I'm going to be honest with myself. If I set a goal, like in 2 weeks I'll be free, probably I won't make it. So I decided to make some sort of a schedule about that, like in X amount of months or weeks. I don't know. And eventually I could be free. Because although you could say that there is a force from the darkness attacking me, trying to make me smoke through commercials and reliving the experience of inhaling the cigarette, you could say there are movies and there are individuals practicing that vice, and you feel like, I would like to do that again. Although you could say that the temptation comes from the outside, deep down I knew that it was my choice to quit. And that is the way that I felt God helped me to be free. And I became free of that addiction. My friend, it is not easy to overcome any kind of addiction. However, alcohol, drugs, it's something absolutely devastating for everybody. I have seen families destroyed totally because of alcohol and because of drugs. And in these days, drugs are presented to the public, to the community in so many ways. At some point it was everything through smoking or inhaling or injections. Today it's pills, and I have no idea, because it's not one thing that I am informed or interested in knowing, but I know that there are so many ways that people get high today, and I see the destruction. You are talking about oppression of slavery. You are talking about countries that they have a dictator that kill the people, the innocent people. Let's talk about drugs and alcohol. The money that people spend every single day, it's amazing how many good things people could do with that money instead of using it in alcohol or drugs. Cigarettes, anything. My friends, we have an opportunity. It's the beginning of the year. You can be free, my friend. Try to create a plan. At this point in time, there are experts in every field. I'm not expert in how to be free of an addiction. I am not. I was addicted to nicotine because I smoked for several years. But I became free once, or maybe more than once. I could cut that chain that had me in oppression. I was a slave of that thing. I remember that in one occasion I got a cigarette. Let me see, I have a pen here. To give you this illustration. I remember I saw a cigarette and I looked at the cigarette and I spoke to the cigarette, and more or less this was my conversation. I said, "You son of a gun, you control me. I hate you. I hate you with the utmost passion. You have no life, and yet you control my life." That was my conversation with a cigarette. Think about it with alcohol. I'm drinking coffee, by the way. That would be funny, huh? That I'm here all drunk. Yeah, say no to alcohol. But imagine that. A glass of whiskey or vodka or beer or any kind of alcohol or drugs, any of those substances, they don't have life. I encourage you, look at those things and say, you have no life and yet you control my life. Maybe that will help you, my friend, to start to understand that you can be free. In God, you can be free. And you will, if you put the effort into that. Even if it takes you, I don't know, 6 months, 3 months, I don't know. Every situation is different. Some people say that they can just stop doing something, boom, like that. Well, if anyone can do it, I will say, good for you. But I don't think that applies to the majority of people. But if we have an oppression today, it's coming from alcohol and drugs. And we all need to work together to be free of that. We have to. Because it's killing our community. It's destroying our society. So many kids are being devastated and abused because in many homes there is no respect for life. God can change that. If you're watching, if you're listening, God wants you to do something about it. If you are the one with the addiction, you can be free. If you know someone with addictions, you can help this person to be free. Just be gracious with them. They need help, you know. They cannot do it right away. With patience, we can do a lot of great things in our lives.
Thank you for watching another broadcast with Gian. The schedule of this program: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check the website mygiancarlo.com for more videos. We hope to see you soon.